We're almost over the hump, Dominic. This Wednesday, March 4th, year of our Lord 2020. In a couple hours, we'll be halfway through our school week. Over the hump. Yesterday, you did page 399 and 400, 1 through 14. Oh, thanks. Yeah. 1 through 14. So let's get to that first real quick because we got a lot to get done. Number 1. You wrote two angles with the same measure are congruent. Then you wrote these are in the same position in different figures. Corresponding parts. You're comfortable with that word now. Number 3. 4 pairs of congruent angles. So looking at those two objects on the right, name 4 pairs of congruent angles. Give me 1 pair. Zacchaeus.
S and K.
S and K. Everybody got that? S and K, K and S, either one. Give me another pair. Brett.
L and P.
Everybody got that? Give me another one. Spence.
Q and M.
Q and M. And lastly, E
And R.
and R. Did everybody get those? And if not, raise your hand if you either didn't get them or you don't understand, you don't see, you no comprendo why they are congruent. Next, number 4. What's the measure of angle S? Jaden?
90.
Why?
Because it's congruent to K.
Why?
It's a right angle.
Why?
Because it's corresponding with K.
Yes, because it corresponds with K. Did you get that? Did you see it? Did you get my fishing expedition to get those words out? Did you get that, Bella?
Yes.
It's S is 90 because it's a right angle. Yes. How do you know it's a right angle? It doesn't have a, they don't draw the box there to show it's a right angle. Because K is a right angle. Because S, what's the word? Corresponds to K. Number 5. Find the length of NK. Spence.
12 inches.
How do you know? Did you measure it?
Yes.
You measured
And
it?
if you flip it.
If you flip it. True. So visually, if you were to place one and overlap it on the other, some people can't do that. Like me, I'm awful with that. Spatial, that kind of stuff. I could, after I really focus, I could see how they would overlap, but there's another reason.
It corresponds with SR.
Yes. NK corresponds with SR. Number 6. What's the measure of angle R? Rachel, how do you know? Yes, it corresponds with M. What's the error in their figuring in number 7? Spencer?
It should be BCA is equal, is congruent to DE.
Has everybody got that?
Yeah, I got that.
They're trying to say that those two are congruent because of what proof? What was the proof that those two are congruent?
It has the lines and the marks and the things.
Okay, you got 3 choices. Side, 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 or angle, side, angle. Which one proves that those two are congruent? Side, angle, side, but they wrote them wrong, right? Everybody see that? Turn the page. What is the length of AF? Noel. Why? Yes, corresponds with what? It corresponds with CD. Number 9, measure of angle C. Cam, what'd you get? 80. Why, Cam?
It corresponds with F.
Absolutely. Number 10, the length of HC. Kira, 4 centimeters. Why? We are so comfortable now with corresponds. This makes me very happy, Bella. The little things that can make you happy. Number 11, the measure of angle A. Isaac.
100 degrees.
Because it.
Corresponding to.
And number 12, name all the congruent triangles shown. Justify your answer. There are 3 ways you can justify it. Side, 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 angle, side, angle. Which 2 of those triangles are congruent? Well, there's more than 2. Spencer, you got one?
Okay, I got triangle BAC is congruent with triangle MLK.
Okay. Depending on which order you put those letters, the triangle on the furthest left, ABC, is congruent, Spencer says, to LMK, the 4th one over. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Why are they congruent? What's your proof? Side, angle, side. If you look at the sides of those and the angle in between them, they're both 2 centimeters that create a 60-degree angle. Everybody see that? Beautiful. Number, or give me another one. There's 2 more that are congruent. Yeah.
This is HGJ and NPQ.
QPN, HGJ, whatever order you put those in. And why is it?
Because they have the same length.
So what do we call that? What's the proof called? The corresponding lengths are the same, but what do we call that proof? You got 3 choices. Angle, side, or side, side, side. Think about what you're saying. You said all the sides are the same length. So what proof would it be? Side, angle, or side, side, side? Side, side, side. SSS, SAS, or ASA. Number, did you have to do 13 and 14?
Yeah.
13. How do you know the red triangles in the kite are congruent? Spence.
Okay. It is side angle side because they share a side and they give you a 90-degree angle. And there are supplemental angles, so they add up to 180 and the last side is
Jonathan's like, how did he come up with all that? Very good, Spencer. The 2 triangles are the same because of side, angle, side. Everybody got that?
No.
If you look at, listen, just focus on the red triangles, the tops of them, of the kite. Ready? You know that the left and right are the same measure because they tell you they're both 5 inches. Got that? You know that, the line in the middle, they share. You following this? So the 2 coming out this way are 5. The line in the middle is shared. And what's in between those 2 lines? 90-degree angles. So you know the angles are the same. So side, angle, side. The side they share in the middle proves that both of those are congruent. How about 14? Let's see if somebody can do it besides Spencer with that. Everybody's afraid to raise their hand now, Spencer, because your explanation was so thorough. They're going to start calling you Professor. Professor Pruitt. Kiara?
Because they both have the same. It's side, side, side.
Side. Look at the bottoms of the kite.
Can
You want to continue your explanation?
No.
No? Side. The bottoms are both 4. The sides are both 7. And what do you know about the line down the middle? It's shared. So it's got to be the same. And now we continue. So just on the same paper, go to number 15. And critical thinking. Listen, what's more important? That you follow the rules and do what the formula says, or that you understand the math?
Understand the rules.
Look, Mommy, I followed the rules. I got an A on the test, and then the next year comes and they're talking about something similar, but you can't figure it out because you got to know. We got to develop our mathematical sense. Okay, so critical thinking. Explain how you know the triangles are congruent. Then write an equation and solve for x. Some of you are looking at that like, I have no idea how that could possibly be done. But let me walk you through it as you're thinking. Ready? You've got 2 triangles there in number 15. They're oriented in different ways. One seems to be pointing up. The other one seems to be pointing left. but they give you very valuable information about those triangles that would lead you to know that they are congruent. Let's just do it together. How do we know 15, the two triangles are congruent? You've got 3 possible answers to show that you can prove that they're congruent. Dina.
Because they gave you the lines that are
Telling you that what?
that they're congruent.
That what are congruent?
The side.
So what do we call that? Do we call that angle, side, or side, side, side?
Side and side.
No, what'd you just tell me? You just told me all the sides were the corresponding sides were congruent, right? So if all 3 sides,
Side.
side. Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
Listen, it's almost like when you're younger, you're afraid of the language. Like, for instance, if you remember this in 5th grade, we just did the temperature formulas, right? And it was like one of the first times you ever learned that, but wait, you say the word formula to a 5th grade math student, and it's like, what? They lose their mind. And the teacher's job, I got to spend 3 days doing my best cell job to convince them that formulas make life easier. But when they hear formula in math class, like they don't want to even go there. They don't want to think. But the formula for Fahrenheit to Celsius or Celsius to Fahrenheit, once you know it, wow, how easy it is. You just plug in one number and you can tell if it's 50 degrees out, your friend in Canada would say it's 10. It's the same thing. Anyway, get used to the language. Corresponding parts, side, angle, side. Does everybody understand 15? Wait, there's more. You're supposed to be able to write an equation and solve for x, because in the bottom triangle, it doesn't tell you how long that side is. It says that side is x minus 6. So help me out. What do you got, Sid?
My binder's like
Oh.
silk. Can I go see it?
Sure. Sure.
Sorry, I don't.
What do we know? Listen, what do we know about the side of the triangle that's measurement is x minus 6? Come on, put everything we've been doing so far together. Side, angle, side, angle. We just said that they're congruent because of side. And we know what corresponding parts means now. So what do we know about how long x minus 6 is? Oh boy. What?
Equals 4.
Right, because it corresponds to the top triangle that equals 4. So when they say prove that they're congruent and then write an equation to solve for x,
X is 2.
write this down. I need you to follow the thinking here. Think. You know that the side labeled x minus 6 has to equal 4 because that's the side it corresponds to. Daydreamer. X minus 6 has to equal 4. So what does x equal? 10. Now try 16 on your own. Now that I've shown you how to do 15, I'm going to hesitate here for about 30 seconds and see if you can tackle 16 on your own. Same kind of deal. Prove that they're congruent. There's 3 choices. Side, angle, side, or angle, side, angle. After you do that, set up an equation like we just did. We knew that the side labeled x minus 6 had to equal 4 because we just proved it. That the corresponding sides were congruent. So x equals 10 because I added 6 to both sides. Now, do the same thing for number 16. And show yourself that you can do it. Without the struggle, there is no growth. Right? Listen. If you came to school and all you did was do stuff you already knew how to do, you might think that would be fun. That would be awful. Without the struggle, there is no growth. Do you understand, Lauren? Nope. How's a beautiful butterfly? How do we experienced the beauty of these butterflies flying around, the struggle they have to go through
Society.
just to be born, to escape the chrysalis. And they grow into these beautiful butterflies. What a struggle.
No.
Without the struggle, there is no
Not
growth. Rachel, what do you got?
I have angle, side angle.
And you are correct.
Equals 13.
And you said x equals 13, but what equation did you set up?
I did 32 minus 6. And then I divided
Okay.
26 by 2.
Well, you did 32 minus 6 and divided by 2 because the equation dictates that you do 32 minus 6 and divide by 2. Listen to what you said. You did 32. Is it plus 6 or minus 6? You did 32 minus 6, Rachel, because that's what you do with this equation. You understand?
Yeah.
So you didn't write this equation, did you?
Nope.
But do you see how the equation works? It works just like your mind works, but you got to learn how to get it down on paper. You subtracted 6 first, right? And then you divided by 2. And you found out that x was 13. Let me stop there. We have 7th and 8th graders. We have teenagers that are sitting there. You're not like little kids, and you already know the only stupid question is the one that wasn't asked. And we're in friendly company here. And the struggle you're having is almost always a struggle someone else is having. So if you don't understand this, I need you to raise your hand, because I'm not against saying it again. So why would you be against it? What is education? What is training? It's repeating it over and over again. How do you get better at a sport? You got to keep doing over and over again.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes permanent.
Permanent.
Because what if you practice, listen, what if you practice imperfectly? Are you going to be perfect?
Oh, yeah.
So if you practice doing something wrong, it's not going to be perfect.
If you practice imperfectly.
All right, here we go. Raise your hand. I got to move on. Nobody cares? Anybody out there? Is there anybody out there that doesn't fully understand and cares? Please raise your hand.
I understand. Poor Lord.
Okay, here we go. 17. Are you already done with 17?
I don't understand.
You done with 17?
No, I don't know how to do it.
Tell us why, first of all, tell us why 17 that you know that those triangles are congruent. What's your proof? Well, let's see. We already used 15, side, side, side. And for 16, we use angle, side, angle. So don't think that it's going to be side, angle, side just because you already used the other two. Give me the proof. Kiara.
It's angle, side.
It's angle, side, angle again because they told us that the line segment between the two angles is congruent. So you got angle and angle on each side of a line segment. That proves that the whole triangle is congruent. They said that x on the left-hand triangle, or that angle is x, and the one on the right is 2x minus 24. What do we know about those two angles? They're congruent. So what should I write? They only told me them in terms of x. They said the one on the left is x, and the one on the right is 2x minus 24, and you just told me we know that those two are congruent. So how should I write that down? Go ahead.
X plus 2x minus 24 equals 180.
No. 180?
Yeah.
No, hold on. Do you see what he tried to do?
Yeah.
Okay? He tried to set it equal to 180 because you know there's 180 degrees in a triangle. You can't do that because you don't know the measure of the bottom two angles to add those together. What you do know is that the angle labeled x on the left is the same as the angle labeled 2x minus 24 on the right. So how can I write that down?
2x plus x plus 2.
Okay.
No.
Can I tip it?
Listen, think with me. Too many other thoughts going on. It's almost like I can read your minds, and there's nothing, I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, well, then you can't read my mind.
Yeah.
I
What am I
know.
thinking
It's like a
about
blank
right
slate,
now?
because all I see is math, and when I look,
Oh, I
I don't see any math going on.
know. What am I thinking about right now?
Listen to me, Micah. What do we know about the top angle on the left-hand triangle number 17? The only thing we know is it's labeled
I think I know.
X. Micah, what do we know about the top angle on the triangle on the right? All we know is it's labeled. No, it's not. The one on the right. 2x minus 24. Now, what do we know about those two angles? Okay, so how do I write that?
2x, wait, 2x minus 24 equals x?
Yes!
That's what I was going to say.
That they equal each other.
I knew it. Yay.
We know that they are congruent. They're the same. So the x equals the 2x minus 24. So follow what we start 2 weeks ago. After the last test, I went back to the first 3 chapters. I said, there's basics here that we're not getting. And here we go again. This is basics to something that you should have known since September. How do I solve for x now? I've got x on each side of the equation, but that doesn't bother me. Because I know, listen, I know I got down pat now. There's only 2 things you really got to have this boiled down to. Whatever they do or 3 things. Combine like terms. Whatever you do to one side of an equation, you got to do to the other. Well, what do you do to the one side of the equation? You get rid of whatever they've attached to the x. Combine like terms. I need to know what x is. Am I going to combine my x's on the right or the left? What do you want to do?
Right.
I want to combine them on the right. You know why? That keeps x positive. Anybody with me? I'll do it both ways. If I combine them on the right, I'm going to subtract x from both sides. Who followed me so far? All I did was get rid of 1x here. 1x minus 1x, 0. 2x minus 1x, x. That's all I've done. You following?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I get rid of the plus 24?
You add 24.
I'm sorry, the negative 24.
You add 24, and then you add 24.
So x equals?
24.
Okay. The other way to do it, everybody got that? The other way to do it would be, what if I wanted my x's on the left? Because I always like it to say x equals something. That means I have to subtract 2x from this side.
From both sides.
And what's 1x minus 2x?
Negative x.
Negative x equals negative 24. So how do I know what x is? I would have to multiply both sides by
X.
1.
What?
negative 1. I'd have to multiply both sides. Are you awake? I'd have to multiply both sides by negative 1 to make this positive x. Negative 1 makes that positive 24. Same answer both ways.
Oh.
The first time, do you see why I chose to get my x's over here to keep x positive? It seems easier that way. Some people are like, no. They're very OCD. I need my x on the left. Well, okay, just make sure you understand that you have to multiply them both by negative 1 to find out what positive 1x is. Yes? You got it? What do you mean no? Do you understand the equation itself?
Yeah.
That the angle x has to be equal to 2x minus 24 because we already said they're congruent.
Yeah.
Okay, combine like terms. We got to combine our x's. And we need, at the end of the day, to have x equaling something. So we either need our x's on the left or the right.
I know, but didn't we just use the protractor? No, wait, never mind, never mind.
All right, turn the page. Since we are in deep thinking mode, you've got, shh, I'm timing everything here so we get done. Ready? Page 403. You're working totally on your own. You got 45 seconds to do number 2, page 403. Go. Sketch it on paper if you want. You got 45 seconds to use any strategy you want on your own to figure out how you're going to get those bowling pins arranged like they say. Think, people. This is so confusing.
Take the shadows
Oh, okay. I do not understand this at all. 15 seconds. You're on your own. Shh. Makes no sense. Okay, time's up. Anybody think they got it?
Nope.
Noel. Go ahead, Noel. Let's see. Listen. Actually, Noel, you feel confident coming on down? What you're going to do, Noel, is you're going to erase what you want to erase because you're moving 3 things, and then write them in blue.
Maybe this one. I don't know.
That's perfect.
Very nice.
Okay, see what she did?
Nope.
She moved. Let's go back to the original. Let's go back to the original. Originally, it was facing to the left, right? So she could only move 3. She took these 2
Oh, that makes sense.
and put them here. And she took that one,
I feel stupid.
put it there. You shouldn't feel stupid.
Well, I didn't really. I didn't know.
Everybody got it?
Yeah,
You got, shh, you got 1 minute to figure out number 3 on your own.
Figure that out.
On your own.
Oh, I have that problem.
That's why we're doing them.
Wow.
Because without the struggle, there is no growth.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
This doesn't sound like on my own.
I do not understand these.
Dominic, it's a no whining zone. Just do your best. Is it, Dominic, is something going to happen to you if you don't get it right? No, it isn't. Nothing's going to happen physically to you. You're not going to lose any points. Just do your best. Zacchaeus, he just likes to walk around, wait for the answer given to him. He should be focused on getting it done. Kiara,
I know this one.
you already done?
I got it.
Because I did it. I did it. I didn't read right. We were supposed to get to.
Hold on.
We can do any way we want.
No, not looking in the back of the book.
I know what it is.
You didn't look in the back of the book? Okay, I'll give you, I see some people still trying to figure it out, so I want to be fair. You have about 15 more seconds, see if you can get at least one of them. It says that there's 2 possibilities. Try to get at least one of the possibilities.
I got both of them.
Me too.
Oh, yeah, I see the other possibility too.
Okay, David McPeak, what's one of the possibilities?
Peter, then Mary, then Scott, then Alan, and then Dave.
He says one of the possibilities is Peter, Mary, Scott,
Because Mary's not next to Scott. Yeah.
Alan, and David. No, no, David.
Oh, Mary is please.
Dina, listen up. We're still talking.
Yeah, I know.
Dina,
Okay, does it go, Scott, Alan, David, Mary, Peter?
that is one possibility.
That's right.
Scott, Alan, David, Mary, Peter, that is one possibility. There's another possibility. Sid.
Peter, Mary, David, Alan, Scott.
Peter, Mary, David, Alan, Scott. No.
I got it.
How? That's right.
Whoa. She just said that one backwards. That's fine. That's right. That's right. That's just looking at them from left to right. You look down right to left. So that's technically what Sid just says, the same as this. So they're sitting on the bench, and you're reading them from left to right. It's Scott, Alan, David, Mary, Peter. She read them from right to left. She just visited China.
Like, I had Peter, Mary.
That's what I just said, yeah. You read them this way.
Yeah.
Same thing.
No.
But there's another possibility. Casey.
Peter, Scott, Alan, David.
No.
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 It's not.
No.
Dominic.
I got Scott, Alan, Peter, Mary, David.
Scott, Alan, Peter, Mary, David. Those are your possibilities, whether you wrote it this way or that way. Whether you're reading them on the bench from left to right, like regular Americans, or you visited China like Sid, and you read them right to left.
Or you could do
Number, what?
Mary, Peter, Alan, David? No,
No.
Mary's not next to that.
Oh, is our time seriously up?
Yes.
Oh, we have 2 minutes. No, we have 2 minutes. Hold on. Let's go. I've got one more to do. Let's do 7. 7, because you guys should be already doing this. And next year, I mean, your grades count now, but next year, like, they officially, if you're in 8th grade, they like officially count for like your life record. Like, hey, where did you rank in your high school class, and how much money you getting for college based on your scores and your grades? So you should be able to figure out what you need to get on your next test.
No.
God bless
I
you.
have no idea.
This is kind of 72%.
5th grade, I got 2 more minutes, so hang tight. 1 more minute. Yeah. You're done already? What do you think you need?
a 92.
Keep working, see if you get 92. If you're still working and you're still not sure of yourself, Jordan, when he takes one more test, how many total tests will that be? He's already taken 5. So, okay, so if he takes 6 tests, what's the total points for his test? How many points are a test usually? 100. So if he takes 6 tests, what's his total points going to be? How many total? 600. So your job is to find out, listen, your job is to find out how many points out of 600 does he need for his average to be 88?
89.
Wait, no.
If he already has what you added up.
So if you get an 89.
He needs a 92. He needs a 92.
Oh, that's so often. Why did you write it?
I agree on this.